So today we will start about magnetic field due to a current carrying circular coil at an axial point. So this is a circular coil. That circular coil is of radius A that carries a current I, and the plane of the coil, this plane that lies on the YZ plane. And obviously this is the axis. Axis means a line passing through the center of the coil and perpendicular to it. So I have taken a small element dl. So the current element will be tangent to that current element is ideal, and p is the point, and the position vector of this point with respect to this current element, the position vector of point P with respect to this current element is r vector. Then, so this is the introduction. So let us consider a circular coil of radius A carrying a current I, and that coil lies on YZ plane as shown in the figure, and P is an axial point at distance x from the center of the coil. Axial point means suppose the plane of the coil will lie on YZ plane, then the line which will be perpendicular to YZ plane is x-axis, and that passes through the center of the coil. Then magnetic field at point P due to this current element that is determined from Biot-Savart's law, and Biot-Savart's law is dB vector small magnetic field because it is due to small current element. dB vector equals mu naught by 4 pi ideal cross r divided by r cubed. So you make it equation 1. Right? In magnitude, that will be in magnitude the magnetic field is dB equals mu naught divided by 4 pi ideal sine theta. Theta is the angle between the current element and position vector with respect to the current element, divided by r squared. Now you go to the figure. How much is the angle between current element and position vector? So if you look at it, the figure three-dimensionally, this angle is 90 degree. Then you substitute the value of theta in the formula. Equals mu naught divided by 4 pi ideal sine 90. divided by r squared implies dB equals, dB means small magnetic field due to the current element. Sin 90 is 1. So therefore dB will be equal to mu naught divided by 4 pi IDL divided by r squared. Right? Now, what about the direction of this magnetic field? Because magnetic field is vector quantity. This is vector quantity. And what about its direction? Direction will be determined by the cross product root. So the rotation of the screw will be from ideal cross r. The direction of magnetic field due to this small element, which is dB vector, is perpendicular to the plane of current element and position vector r vector, and its direction will be along the direction of ideal cross r. Its direction will be along the direction of ideal cross r. So if you take this plane, ideal vector, considering ideal vector and r vector, so dB vector will be perpendicular to the plane of ideal and r vector. And if you consider right hand screw rule, the screw will be rotated from ideal to r, so therefore the screw will be moving anti-clockwise and it will be moving in this direction. So dB vector is perpendicular to both ideal vector and r vector. Then you resolve dB vector into two mutually perpendicular components. One is perpendicular to the axis. Into mutually perpendicular components means into rectangular components. One is along the axis, that is dB sin theta, and this is perpendicular to the axis, this is dB cos theta. So how does this angle become theta? Because this is a component perpendicular to the x-axis, so therefore this total angle is 90 degree. This total angle is 90 degree, means this total angle is 90 degree. Suppose you consider this angle is theta, then this becomes 90 minus theta, and as this vector is perpendicular to this vector, so if this is 90 minus theta, this angle will become equal to theta. The axial component of dB vector is dB sin theta and the perpendicular component is dB cos theta. Now what you do, similarly take another diametric opposite element. Now this element you have taken Mn. Suppose you consider diametric opposite element, this is M dash N dash, and you consider the magnetic field due to this current element at this point. Then what will you see? The magnetic field due to this element will just be oppositely directed to this dB vector, and this is the magnetic field due to this element is dB dash vector, and this dB dash vector is just opposite to dB vector and of same magnitude that I have mentioned here. And similarly, if this angle is theta, because this is diametric opposite angle, this is diametric opposite element, so this angle will also be theta. So therefore, similarly resolving dB dash vector into rectangular components, one is along the axis, another is perpendicular to the axis. Along the axis component, I have mentioned this as dB sin theta again. Why I have not taken dB dash cos theta? Because dB vector and dB dash vector are of same magnitude. So therefore I have mentioned it is dB sin theta and this is dB cos theta. So considering these two diametric opposite elements, what I have observed that dB cos theta, the components which are perpendicular to the axis, dB cos theta and dB cos theta, they are equal and opposite, and hence cancel each other. Then you are left with only the axial component dB sin theta. So whatever I have said, so I have mentioned here. So I have just mentioned here, finding the magnetic field at P due to a diametric opposite element. The diametric opposite element is m dash n dash of same length. We find the magnetic field at point P is of equal magnitude and oppositely directed. The magnetic field at point P is, that is, dB dash dB dash is of equal magnitude and oppositely directed to whom? To dB vector. And this is mentioned, I have mentioned direction of dB vector is perpendicular to the plane of IDL and R, and it is directed outwards. So that I have shown in the figure. Now you resolve dB vector and dB dash vector into rectangular components. Resolving dB vector and dB dash vector into rectangular components. So what did you observe? That the perpendicular components, so they are of equal magnitude and oppositely directed, and hence cancel each other. So the net magnetic field is contributed only due to axial component, that is dB sin theta. So the same process continues, similarly dividing the whole coil into such diametric opposite elements. Whole coil means like this. So similarly dividing the whole coil into such diametric opposite element, this element, this element, this element, this element, this element, this element. So what will you find? The components which are perpendicular to the axis are of equal magnitude and oppositely directed, and hence they will cancel each other, and you will be only left with the axial component. So therefore the total magnetic field means the resultant magnetic field axial point P is equal to sum of the axial component. Axial component means component of dB vector along x-axis. And what is the axial component of x-axis? That is sum over dB sin theta. So this implies B equal to sum over, and what was the value of dB? The value of dB was mu naught by 4 pi IDL by R square. Then what will be the value of sin theta? Sin theta value will be, so go to the figure right now. Sin theta value will be, in this right angle triangle, sin theta will be radius A means perpendicular by hypotenuse, A by R. And you see what is the value of R, because this is hypotenuse, this will be equal to square root of A square plus x square, I have mentioned here. So now just you have substituted the value of sin theta, and sin theta is A by R. Now you go to the formula, sin theta equal to A by R. So R squared R, this is R cubed, so sum over mu naught by 4 pi I A by R cubed into dl, this dl, right? And I mentioned here R equal to root over of square root of A squared plus x squared. So in place of R, I have substituted A square plus x square root over means to the power half, and cube is there means it will be to the power 3 by 2. So whatever constant constants are there within the summation, so I have taken that out of. So whatever constants I have left within the summation, that is taken out of the summation. So what is left? B equal to mu naught by 4 pi Ia divided by a square plus x square to the power 3 by 2 sum over dl. Sum over dl means total length of the coil. You see, this is the coil. dl, 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 dl. You go on adding along the total length of the coil. So you'll be getting the circumference of the coil. Circumference of the coil is twice pi a. Now we substitute here twice pi a. So twice pi 4 pi 2. So you'll be left with B equal to mu naught by 2 I a into a squared divided by 2 into a squared plus x squared to the power 3 by 2. And this is the magnetic field due to a single turn of the coil. So if the coil consists of n number of turns, so you will be getting mu naught ni a square divided by twice into a square plus x square to the power 3 by 2. And obviously the direction of resultant magnetic field will be along the axis. So this is the direction of resultant magnetic field when the current flows in anticlockwise manner. So that will be known from right hand rule also. So it is there. The direction of magnetic field is also determined from right hand rule. And from the figure also we find that the resultant magnetic field is only along the axis. Axis means perpendicular to the plane of the coil, and that is directed outwards. Now you consider a special case. Special case is, suppose this distance was x. So what will be the magnetic field at the center of the coil? Center of the coil means x decreases. This is x. So center of the coil means this value is x. So when this point P is at a distance x from the center, but when you consider the magnetic field at the center of the coil, then x goes to 0. So just substitute this value here, x equal to 0. Then what will be left? This thing I mentioned, magnetic field at the center of the coil, that is to say at x is equal to 0 is, so B is equal to mu naught ni a square divided by twice a square, x square means 0, so twice a square to the power 3 by 2. So 2 cancels, you will be left with twice a cube, then a square a cubed. So you will be left with to mu naught ni a square divided by twice a cubed and a squared a cubed cancel. So you will be left with B is equal to mu naught ni by twice a. So this agrees with the result of the magnetic field at the center, which you know that it is already B equal to mu naught ni by twice a. So I think you have all understood the derivation, and if you have any doubt you may ask in the comment section. Thank you.